Street players, and you're going to see their superb actors. We do have one intermission, and please remain for the discussion afterwards, for the very lively discussion. And I think you'll enjoy that, and we want your input. You're also invited all to come to our next reading, which is at the Kennedy Center. We will be performing Paul, which we performed here. This was sort of a rehearsal, but please come. It's free, and we have been assigned the Israeli Lounge. I've never been. Has anybody here ever been in the Israeli Lounge? No? There's a painting or something. And it's a gift of the government of Israel. It's a nice, cozy place, so please come. It's free. We're on at 1 o'clock till 2:30 in the afternoon. The September the 5th. Please come. Please come. You will all be invited. May we go ahead? I sort of started, and some people may be late. So you're all invited to that. And we want to thank Jennifer here. She's the one who's encouraged us. And of course, you put out a delicious spread for us. And so also, any suggestions you have to make, talk to us about them afterwards. We want to hear. And also, any thoughts you may have about King David, who, keep in mind, he is at the masthead not of one religion, but of three. He is at the masthead of course, Judaism, the Israeli flag today. The Israeli airplanes still fly his star. He's at the core of Christianity. At Christmas time, what do we all sing? Once in Royal David City, blah, 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 and so on. And Jesus of Nazareth went all over Judea, talking about I'm the descendant of David. And then I was terribly corrected several years ago when I said David had something to do with the Muslim religion. And our Muslim brethren immediately corrected me on that. He is one of the pillars of the Muslim religion. Which how many of you knew that? You did know that. Pardon? I'll help you out with that. So with that, I've spoken too long. The play runs about 80 minutes. And after that, if you can, please stay. And with that, I will let the cast introduce itself, beginning with our sound director and then going the whole way around.
Beatrix Whitehall, I'm narration, and I produce various sounds, and I run the music.
I'm James, I play David.
Penny Martin, Bathsheba.
John Scarles, I play three particular characters. One is the soldier, and we're going to let you go with the rest. Keep reading.
Dick McCord, Nathaniel, and also a stranger.
Bonnie Jordan, I play Macau, David's first wife.
Cheryl Weaver, I played Princess Tamar, David's only daughter.
David Weaver, Absalom, David's second son.
My name is Roland Gomez, and I'm playing, Joe, the general. Yeah.
David McCallum, Itai, and Aripathel. Ahithophel.
Francine Jamin, Abishag, David's favorite concubine.
Benny Robles Amnon, King David's first son.
The other evening, with Penny Martin, who did the role of Bathsheba, and that is, how are women treated in this play? How are women treated in the Bible? My contention is that the women in this play, and I try to stick very closely to the Bible, turn out quite nicely. In fact, they're much stronger than the men. Most of them are very dopey. Most of them get whacked in the end anyhow. You know, David dies, Absalom dies, Amnon dies, Job gets killed, David's other son gets killed, Nathaniel gets killed. The women survive in one way or another. So
David dies of old age, essentially.
Yes, he doesn't get
he
So everyone dies eventually.
But what gift did God give David? Because of what he did, God told David, you have your choice between three things. You have a famine through the country, a rebellion, and the third was a disease, the plague, the bubonic plague. And David chose, what did he choose? I think he chose the bubonic, he forgot which one he chose. But David was not treated very well by God. God did not treat any of the three kings very well, because in the end Solomon was defeated, Saul and David. Anyhow, do you have any anybody have any questions? What would you like, anything you'd like to see done differently? Yes? This is actors, I like to have actors also participate.
I'd like to live a little longer.
Maybe in the second act.
Come back as a ghost.
No, that would be an opera.
Well, part of
Yeah.
the thing is in Orthodox Jews, get up in the morning, put on the telephone, and say, and thank God that they were not born a woman.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
That's all.
That would be considered the base of my mission.
She brought up a good point. This is an invitation to all of you. A week from tomorrow, at the National Press Club, I am having Italy's first female rabbi ever speak there. You are all invited. If you want to come, just see me at 10 a.m. Her name is Barbara Aiello, and the other 9 rabbis of Italy sincerely hope she will die. They're all men, by the way. Please come. She's a charmer, and she's opened a synagogue that was closed by Ferdinand and Isabella in 1492. We bring the past into the present. Any other? Oh,
I just wanted to make a comment.
Yeah.
I talked to the woman earlier today, but I thought that rape scene was very difficult, but very convincing on both by her and the man. I'm sorry.
and Ben. It was truly moving. As the playwright,
Very
I mean,
powerful.
I was truly moved by that scene. It just worked so poignantly. This is the 12th time we've done this play. And it was done, we have never had this as a production. Maybe someday we will. Tricks here directs nearly all of our production.
Well, that's not quite right, but I did direct the last one,
Well, and the one next year.
and the one next year.
The Keaton woman. But that was done so poignantly. And of course, that's one of the great scenes of all time. And Penny Tamar did stand up. You said that Bathsheba couldn't stand up to David. Look at Tamar, she stood up to him, and look at what she paid for it, and she did cause a civil war. I mean, the incident caused a civil war, and she was innocent, but she did stand up. Bathsheba could have done the same thing, and she acquiesced. She acquiesced when David killed her husband. Sent him off to war.
How do you know she acquiesced?
Well, she simply could have said, "I will have nothing to do with you, King David," and walked away. And we know she did not do that. She wanted to
read
be queen.
about victims?
How do you know she didn't seduce him?
Huh?
How do you know she didn't seduce him?
Seduce who?
Yeah, I thought she seduced
Bathsheba
him.
seduced David.
Well, she did. What she did was she knew how beautiful she was,
Yeah.
and she took a shower on what essentially is at her front porch, where she could be viewed by David, and then you see David did have the lust. David's lust. Amnon's lust comes from David. And pardon?
This is what the men say happened. How many of the books in the Bible were written by women?
I don't think any.
None of
We
those
don't.
were
I'm
written
saying.
by
No,
women.
no.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the viewpoint
Yes.
of men about women's activities towards men are different sometimes than the women's view of the same things.
Yeah. Anyhow, any other points? If not, thank you so much for coming.